We should cover the David stuff because apparently there's more stuff.
Now, as indicated in the previous video I just uploaded, I wanted to talk about the fact that Celeste Rivas may have had and according to TMZ, a troubled home life, right? An unstable situation of which prompted her to run away multiple times. Like, this is a common occurrence in abusive households. Households that are just fueled with physical altercations, domestic violence, hate, verbal abuse, psychological warfare. We've, a lot of us have been there, right? And if there was a place of refuge, a safe place we could run away to, we would have all taken that chance for sure. And it just so happens to be that this place of refuge, this safe place that Celeste found in her life was with David, unfortunately. Before we get into that though, I do want to show some new pictures of Celeste posted by a user in the r/Celeste Rivas Hernandez Reddit community, and it says, and I think this is with her friend or something, "Long live Celeste, I will miss you forever, and the pain I have in my heart is unbearable. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you more, my beautiful sister. You were such a good soul, and you're with God now. May you rest easy. I love you so much. Until we meet again. Juice, your BFF." So obviously in these photos, she looks, older, much older than the ones that were circulating around the internet. Now that we know that she was murdered within a 24-hour period to a day after her birthday, she would have likely been, 14 here, likely possibly on her way to turning 15 in a few months. During that time, where was this best friend? Did she know about this relationship? Assuming this is really her best friend, she would have likely known. Girls talk all the time, women talk all the time about the boys, guys, whatever that they're dating. I want to know, if she knew, did she approve, disapprove? Did she try to tell authorities? Did she try to warn Celeste? Did she? Or was she the girl that we saw in those previous text messages about her quote-unquote bleeding or bled with David? Or was she the one talking about possibly losing her virginity? There's so many questions, and I'm pretty sure the law enforcement teams in LA, FBI, Lake Elsinore are going to be going through this entire thing. However, according to the article, they say LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division has been tracking Celeste's history, and they are trying to piece together the story of her life, according to our sources. We're told that Lake Elsinore family contacted Riverside County law enforcement at least twice to report Celeste missing. Our sources say homicide detectives believe there's lots of evidence Celeste comes from and I quote, troubled home, and that they may have triggered her desired to run away. TMZ has spoken to a liquor store owner near where Celeste's school bus picked her up, and he says there was one instance on March 19th, 2024, where Celeste's sister came to his store to review surveillance footage in an attempt to trace Celeste's steps after she ran away. As reported, her middle school teacher told TMZ Celeste had ran away back in January of 2024. The teacher says police found her in the Hollywood Hills a month later and took her home. It's worth noting David lives in the Hollywood Hills. Celeste then went missing for the last time in April of 2024, and the next time she was found in his trunk. And also, I'm gonna be showing you guys footage of David's former Hollywood's Hill house, of which he was paying allegedly $20,000 a month to live in. However, they go on to say that what's unclear is if the family called cops in Hollywood when Celeste disappeared in spring of 2024 to find out where she had been staying when they found her in February. And here, as we can see, is the house of which David was basically staying in, reportedly. Here's an aerial view footage.
Wait, wait, his house is right there, right? And the car's right there, right? Come on, man. That's like
David was basically staying in, reportedly. Here's an aerial footage of
dude, what the fuck?
supposed home. As we can see here, here's a better view here, right here. Now, this is reportedly the home of which she was paying $20K a month to live in, and the home of which she's fled now. He doesn't live here anymore. 1368 Doheny Place. It looks like to be the place.
So he's on the
this
run.
Is the home of which Celeste may have been living with him in. It's a big place, lots of rooms, safe and secure in the Hollywood Hills. for over
He's
a
on the
year. I'm pretty
run.
sure she was living very comfortably,
Uh-oh.
lavishly. And for I'm gonna assume, you know, a teenager coming from a community like that, quote unquote, from a troubled home, this was probably like a fucking dream come true to her, you know? Here you can see an investigator standing in, I think the garage or whatever. However, here's some grim details. They're saying it's apparent police think Celeste may have been killed inside the home David was staying at because they obtained a search warrant allowing them to search for blood evidence inside the residence. We do not know what, if anything, police discovered.
Ooh.
The police have not revealed if they have a suspect yet. So, yeah. In another article, they also say that there were security cameras planted outside of David's home, which is, you know, standard protocol, but apparently there were no security cameras inside. The Hollywood Hills rental home where singer David was living had a security system with external cameras that capture everything going in and out. Pretty sure police officers will be, you know, going through that with a fine-tooth comb. They say Malden
There was no
Trifunovic
cameras inside
owns
the
home
house, but there
David's
was
manager
cameras
was renting.
outside.
The place has been searched by cops as part of the Celeste Rivas death investigation, and he says he had a security company install cameras outside the home years before Josh Marshall signed a lease in February 2024 for $20,000 a month. The homeowner says the cameras are positioned at entry points in the backyard and on the street, and he believes people cannot go in or out of the house without being recorded. That's a key element because cops were looking into the possibility that Celeste was killed inside the home. As we first told you, investigators searched the home for traces of blood. The problem, though, is that the homeowner said that he doesn't have access to any of the security footage because he wants to respect people's privacy, and that whenever people move into this property, they get to create their own little account that are attached to the cameras so that they can track their own footage. And I suppose when they move out, they can do with the footage what they will,
so
right?
he
So
just
obviously,
facilitates
in this
the
case, if David was actually recording this feed, footage would have been scrubbed frequently.
System,
I don't
basically.
think that any footage from when David was there with Celeste allegedly would still be available on any memory drive or hard drive. I doubt it, unless he's incredibly dumb. However, given all the information we've seen so far, all the evidence and documents and videos, and how flagrant and careless with his activities, it wouldn't be surprising or shocking. As stated previously, it looks like this guy wanted to be caught. So I'll say it kind of looks like David is on the run, and you know, I'm pretty sure he has his lawyers advising him on what to do. I'm pretty sure he has access to the best legal counsel in the world, pop artist, right? Massive success in the music industry, connection to all types of people, and power, making, you know, 500 to possibly $1 million per month. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if somehow, some way, this guy gets away with this. I've seen way too much in this world to be shocked by anything related to people in positions of power getting away with crimes that are obviously
there's gonna be a high-profile case
of it
if there is even a case.
But ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about this? I'm gonna be providing more updates very soon about this case. Honestly, it's getting real.
I would say right now
he's
he's under investigation,
and I do have more footage that I want to show you guys. So stay tuned, turn on notifications because I'm going to be providing more updates very soon.
Not only it's a person who's dead, but it's a minor. So it's like, excuse me. All right, there you have it. More if you want to check them out. And then we got AV to the 7th power. She's got more news.
Everyone's talking about the evidence.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talks about
the David case.
yeah, why isn't he in
is
jail? Why hasn't he gotten arrested yet? Isn't there enough evidence to point, hey, you should probably arrest this person?
Onto what's publicly known so far.
I mean,
No
in a
wild
sense, kind of, yeah. I mean, the person was dead in his car, right? It's like, yeah.
Hi, everybody. It's me, AV. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things law, true crime, and a little bit of debauchery. We try to give you a little bit of legal, a little bit of tea for the everyday people. Before we jump into it, just keep in mind this is an active investigation. As of recording, LAPD hasn't named David as a suspect. Reports say he's cooperating. I'm not accusing anyone of a crime. I'm explaining how evidence is classified.
Oh, wait, he is cooperating.
So you can filter through the internet noise like a grown-up.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number and years are you?
Fuck it. This is
I plead the
this is
fifth.
Little
All right,
Woody.
quick class. Let's talk about
Little
direct
Woody got
evidence and
fucking beat up
circumstantial
last
evidence.
right
What
not
is
too
direct
long ago,
evidence?
like a couple
Direct
weeks ago,
evidence
because he was
is
running
if
his
you
mouth.
believe it, it proves a fact
I guess
by
some people
itself.
hate him
You
now.
don't need any support. Example, an eyewitness says, I saw X do Y, or a clear video of the act. If true, you don't need any extra steps. Now, circumstantial evidence, on the other hand, needs more. This is proof of another fact that lets you infer the main fact. Example, location data shows a phone at the scene, lyrics reference violence, a timeline lines up, someone deletes post. You still need a logical step with all of that. So much when it comes to criminal law is broken down into two parts. It's the action and the thinking. So actus reus, a Latin term, really talks about the action part of a crime, and mens rea is the planning part of that crime. So that could be the
motive,
premeditation, the deliberation, the planning, all of
premeditation,
that
right?
stuff that happens up here is that second part. Courts teach jurors that neither type is automatically better. Most modern cases are built with layers of circumstantial pieces that together point strongly in one direction or they don't. Keep that in mind as we look at the items that people are circulating. Now, before we go anywhere with the Celeste and David situation, I will tell you that this case oddly reminded me of something that was in like the early 1900s. And that's this. I do want to show it to y'all real quick. It reminded me of the Black Dahlia. This is a 1947 murder of a
Yeah, it's the
22-year-old
that's
Hollywood
an
hopeful in
iconic
LA
one.
that has still never been solved.
Yeah, never been
On the
solved yet.
morning of January 15th, 1947, a mother taking her child for a walk
Yeah,
in
basically
an LA
she
neighborhood
was.
stumbled upon a gruesome sight.
Yeah,
The body of a young, naked woman sliced clean in half at the waist. The body was just a few feet from the sidewalk and posed in such a way that the mother reportedly thought it was a mannequin at first glance. Despite the extensive
I think in
mutilation and
the
cuts to the
there was
body, there wasn't
even
a
a
drop of blood
Black Dahlia
at the scene,
movie
indicating that the young woman
or
had
Jack
been
the
killed
Ripper movie. I
elsewhere.
forgot
The
what it
ensuing
was.
investigation was led by the LAPD, that's what
But
we have
yeah,
in
it was
this
on
case,
the
and the FBI was asked
this
to help.
case.
And it quickly identified the body, just 56 minutes, in fact, after getting blurred fingerprints from the LAPD. The young woman turned out to be 22-year-old Hollywood hopeful named Elizabeth Short, later dubbed the Black
What's that
Dahlia
one
by the
game?
press for her
Black
rumored
Noir
penchant for
or
sheer
that
black
game?
clothes
Yeah,
and for
that
the Blue
game does
Dahlia
does
movie
a case on
out at the
this
time.
around that time.
Coming back to this case, let's start where it really mattered. That is the search warrant. Judges authorize warrants when police show probable cause, reasonable grounds to believe that evidence of a crime will be found in a specific place. And the warrant must be particular about what could be searched and
Yes,
seized.
must be
That
very
can include
specific.
phones, computers, cloud accounts, and it's all sworn under penalty of perjury. Translation: a judge believed there was enough to look, not enough to convict. Those are different standards. Let's talk about what's been publicly reported. What's been widely reported is a decomposed body was discovered in the front trunk, commonly known as the frunk, of an impounded Tesla in Hollywood. Outlets say that the vehicle was registered to David. Police later served a search warrant at the Hollywood Hills home associated with him. LAPD hasn't called him a suspect yet. Public-facing statements
But the
mention
car was outside his
cooperation and
home
pulled
and
toward
it was
dates.
inside,
That's
right?
the public posture.
They're
Now
looking.
let's analyze the evidence types people keep throwing around. And before I do that, I want to show you the difference between a frunk and a trunk in a Tesla. I happen to own one, but the measurements of both of these compartments in the vehicle are vastly different. Keep in mind that Celeste was found in the frunk. Quick Tesla lesson. This is the frunk. smaller than the rear
Yeah,
trunk.
it's a front
I measured
trunk.
mine so you can visualize the dimensions.
Okay, so this is the inside of a Tesla frunk. It looks like they have the same model that I do. I have a Model Y, and I just wanted to show you guys like just how small the frunk is. So we have some measuring tape here. It looks like if we came all the way down, we have about 19 inches. In length, we have about 37 inches. As far as how deep it goes, it is about 16 inches. So if you think of the Tesla frunk, it is actually a very, very small space. A Tesla trunk is much bigger. You can even put the seats down. This is about 42 inches. You have open sides, but back here you're looking at just about 3 feet, 37 inches.
And she was
which is
found
same
in
as
the
front.
frunk.
Why do we care? Because physical space affects theories about timelines and transport. But remember, without proof of who placed anything there and when, this detail is circumstantial. It invites inferences and it doesn't answer these two key questions by itself. I realized this in post production. The other big thing with the Tesla is that there's also a camera inside of the vehicle, right? We like to call it the
So you
dash
can
cam. There's
basically
cameras on the
see
outside of the doors.
if there
but
was
there's
any
also a camera on
camera
the
right
inside
position
as
to see
well.
what was
we don't
happening at
know
that
is
time.
if those cameras were
There's
activated.
possibly data,
and
right?
that tech is what I'm particularly interested in when it comes to evidence. So let's do
Tesla
something
has a lot
different
of
to see
cameras.
if you guys are on the same page as me, right? Let's do a quick test. Drop your answers in the chat or in the comments. I want to see if you remember the difference between direct evidence or circumstantial evidence if verified. Let's start with the teacher video. A former teacher shows a classroom a clip of the victim from back in the day, warning about social media risks. Is this direct or is it circumstantial? If you guess circumstantial, you're
Yeah.
right.
That is correct.
It speaks to background and online presence, not to a specific criminal act. Coupled with other things, I don't know. Let's analyze another one, the live stream moment. So Celeste appears on a live stream with David and points to comments. Is this direct evidence or circumstantial? The answer with this one, if you guess circumstantial, you're right.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Unless
because we
there's a
don't even know.
clear
That's not
admission
even the
or
real.
act
That's a
tied to
different
the crime,
Celeste.
it could show relationships or a state of mind, but it does not prove the act itself. Next, this one's a tough one, but the
Also,
unreleased songs
isn't
and
he?
lyrics where
Yeah, doesn't he have
David
another
talks about
girlfriend right now or
violent
something?
themes, a dark alter ego.
I flipped that for this story, as in everybody is connected to Itami, my alter ego, who is like the agent of chaos in my entire aesthetic. You see him in various music videos. He'll pop up, and he's basically like the evil version of me. And he's kind of garnered this cult that followed after him. And in the One More Dance music video, you followed a relationship of two of the cult members, and they're going around
Wait
with me
a
in the trunk,
minute.
to bury
Wait, does
me
his music?
after I died. And
His
they're just, like,
music
wreaking havoc on the
videos
city.
at.
And that was the kind of cool like piece to show just
I'm
like the
sorry.
layers
His
that I
music
have to
video
this
actually
lore
has that.
and this world building that I'm doing.
And then there's a
Imagery that
woman
people
found
say
in the
resembles
trunk of
the
his car.
victim. Is this
What the
direct evidence or
fuck?
circumstantial? If you guess circumstantial, you're right.
That is correct.
Oh,
Artistic
fucking hell.
expression is not a confession.
I know.
Prosecutors would
Obviously,
need
it's not a
clean links
confession.
showing motive,
That's
opportunity, and
supposed to-
corroboration. And on its own, it invites inference, not certainty. Now, this next one's a little tricky. The subreddit deletions. Fans claim posts are being removed and that the artist is the sole moderator on his Reddit. What do you think?
Circumstantial.
Circumstantial.
I mean, he could
or
be the
direct?
sole
Answer,
moderator.
2 layers here. Platform logs,
Yeah.
if subpoenaed and authenticated, can
Correct.
be direct
I mean,
evidence
and they
if you
also
press
have to
the
take it
delete
down
button on a
if
given
they
account,
find
but
it
the
to
meaning
be
of that deletion, whether
right
it was
found as
innocent
evidence. They're gonna
moderation
fucking
versus
take it.
consciousness
Right?
of guilt remains circumstantial. So this one's a little bit of a both. Direct
Yeah.
proof of an action and direct proof of guilt is something that we would need together with something like this. Now, the next piece of evidence that a lot of super sleuths online
Yeah,
have
it's
found
a
are
case
the
by case.
Celeste
Did he post it?
references,
And did he
license
delete it
plates,
himself? Right, and stuff
multiple
like that.
Celeste mentions
He would
in
have to cause
songs,
the action.
birthday song drops, the tattoo, timing in songs. Is this direct or is this circumstantial? The answer for this one is circumstantial pattern evidence.
That is correct.
It could become relevant if tied to timelines and other proof,
Sure.
but by itself, it's an invitation to speculate. Courts want links, not vibes. Now, my favorite.
Right, a more direct one
DNA
is if you
and
have
trace
like
evidence.
video
Let's talk about
evidence
these
showing,
ones a little bit.
oh,
People also
him,
mentioned
right,
DNA and trace
right,
collection
him
during
in
the
the
search. 2
area
points.
of when,
The house was raided
she was
particularly because they were
in
looking
the
for
right,
blood
in the
evidence.
trunk
What does that
apparently,
mean? It is
and around the
likely
car.
that Celeste was not murdered in that vehicle and that the body was moved, right? So they need to find out where the actual crime took place. Labs
Correct.
need time. Chain of custody matters. You have recovery over guilt. Context matters. The transfer, secondary transfer, timelines, all of it. If results come back, what was found where and how it couldn't have gotten there are the real questions. Again, a single lab result rarely tells the whole story without the timeline and behavior evidence around it. Now, let's talk about David cooperating versus lawyering up. You'll hear he's cooperating, and also he's got a lawyer. Those are not opposites. Cooperating is PR shorthand. You guys know I have a communications background. Real cooperation is interviews, devices, passwords,
Yeah.
consent to search, or complying with
Yeah,
warrants.
it's
Getting
hard
a
to tell
lawyer
if
is
that's actually
responsible
happening
and
because
can
we're
help
only getting
structure
reports.
cooperation. Also, big city departments have learned from high-profile missteps.
Yeah.
Taking time for autopsies, lab work, and
Right.
digital forensics is normal. Why police can take some time. Remember, the department's history and other celebrity matters. Public pressure can be intense. We
Correct.
talked about ASAP Rocky and ASAP Relly at the start of this year, and then we even took it back at the start of this video to the Black Dahlia. Moving slowly lets
I mean, just look at what happened with
build a
George
record
Floyd
that survives
or the LA
court.
riots,
That
right?
means you need
People
warrants,
freaked the fuck
lab
out.
reports, interviews, digital pulls. Being first is for social media, but being thorough is for prosecutors. The worst thing you could do is deliver a botched and biased investigation. So, this investigation phase is very important. And with the track record with ASAP Relly, with this guy pulling up his own shells and putting it in a bag, LAPD's got a big hole in reputation that they need to fill. That's what she said. So here's your sanity check, dear viewer. Direct evidence is actually rare. Most modern cases are mosaics of circumstantial pieces. So you have location pings, camera time stamps, search histories, missing watches, purchase records, behavior changes that stacked together with red solo cups leave no reasonable alternative. Jurors are told to look at the total picture, not one tile. Direct versus circumstantial isn't about which one is real evidence. It's about how each piece works individually.
Well,
and how
I mean,
each piece works.
I mean, I could say a more direct evidence would be, Irina Zaretsky being stabbed by that guy. Obviously, it shows it on camera. Obviously, they can't show the public the real fucking footage of the person being stabbed because it's graphic, right? But yeah, I mean, he goes up, or well, he's fiddling, he opens something in his hand and then stands up and immediately, right, plunges down with something. And then all you see is her look up. She's spooked. Doesn't know what just happened. She probably does. She's like, oh, I got something bad just happened, and then she bleeds out slowly.
Together with the entire picture. If this moves forward, Watch for timeline
Or police
clarity,
body
device
cam
logs,
of
and
being
lab
someone
results that
assaulting
connect who
the fucking
and
officer,
when.
and then the officer
Tell me
has
in
to
the
meet
comments.
force with
Go ahead,
force.
go do it. Which piece of evidence, if authentic, would a jury likely find most persuasive? And why? At the end of the day, we really want to see justice for Celeste. This case has become a sensation. Many people are invested
Or how about
in getting
Diddy
justice
when he
for
started
her.
beating up
And even if
Cassie
David
Ventura
did do it or he didn't do it, we want to make sure that the
at the
proper assailant
at the
is
hotel
held
camera. I
accountable
mean, that's
for
a
what
direct
happened to this young
evidence.
lady. I'm AV. We
So
talk
caught
about all things law,
red-handed.
true crime, and debauchery over here. I keep it real for the everyday people. Thanks for keeping it
Anyway,
human.
there you have it.
Subscribe for law
AV
without
to
the
the seventh
lecture
power.
below.
But yes,
If you
the reason
haven't seen
why
the
he's not
last
really
video we did on
they
this
haven't
topic,
arrested
it was
him
kind
yet
of a good one.
is because they're
Check it out.
still
See you
trying to
over
get
there.
evidence.
Stay safe
Right?
out
They're
there.
still gathering
Bye.
evidence. I don't know if he did it or not. Technically, I mean, even though it's in his car, he's dead in his car. Eee. Suspicious as fuck. But you know, that's just they're just being thorough, right? Anyways, there you have it. AV to the seventh power and Maury on the David issue.